Here's how to take your Canva email designs and turn them into campaigns inside of Klaviyo or whichever email platform you're using. Once you've prepared your design inside of Canva, what we want to do before moving it across to Klaviyo is just point out which elements will actually just export as assets and which ones will build natively inside of Klaviyo. So in this case, this is quite an image heavy design, although what we can see here is it would have this announcement bar, logo section, this text, and these buttons and the whole footer section. All of that will be built using Klaviyo native components. The rest of this email, so these sections here, will all be exported as just an image asset. So to export the image assets, what we want to do is just drag your cursor over all of the elements, right click on that section, then head down to download selection. Click that, then you're gonna get the option here. By default, Canva is gonna suggest PNG. Now, I can make a whole separate video on this, but PNG, when it's an image like this, it's gonna be massive. And the test I did was for the same size export, the PNG was about 90% bigger than the JPEG for very much the same quality. So what I'd recommend is actually going JPEG here because we want to keep those file sizes as small as possible. I always aim for under 250 kilobytes. I see people uploading like above a 1 megabyte or more, but I'm a little bit pedantic with that. So select JPEG, then quality I'm gonna put to 90. And just for context, the artboard size I'm using is 850 pixels wide. Anywhere between 750 pixels and 1000 pixels will usually be a good range. I wouldn't go any bigger than that, but you can always export bigger and it will compress it, but too big and you're just gonna have too big a file size. So try to keep that as small as you can and then just click download. Then once you downloaded that, check the quality, make sure the settings are right, adjust the quality setting if you need or the sizing. And then what I'm also gonna do is go through these sections below and do the same thing. So once you've exported all of those, you're gonna head into Klaviyo. You just want to drag in the image blocks to wherever you have those images. You can see here I've already built out the Klaviyo components. So you got the announcement bar, header, logo, text, and the buttons and the footer section. So these are all native Klaviyo components. And then these image blocks I've just dragged in, and then I just need to upload the images. And then once you've added those in, one thing I would recommend is always add in alt text and a link to these images. A lot of the time you'll see people forget that. And then you just want to do the same thing for the other images in your email. So you can see I've now added those in. So you can hit preview and test, and then you can take a look, just make sure everything's loading in as expected and the formatting's correct. And then you can also send yourself a test email, check it out on mobile, check it on desktop, so you can see everything's coming through. And then once you're happy, you're basically good to send it out. Now, if you have any questions on the Canva design side or setting up the email within Klaviyo or whichever email platform you're using, just let me know in the comments and happy to help.